Oh my God. I bet you're wondering what this little vlogish video is about. Oh my God, I can't believe I would let this happen. I'm at a loss for words right now. It sucks. I mean, I'm gonna get into it, obviously. I'm gonna get into it. Don't worry, don't get your panties in a bunch. It sucks because there's like a bunch of things that I don't think about, or I don't have like a reason to really think about it until that time comes. And then it comes up and it bites me right in the ass, and then I'm dealing with it. And I'm just like, are you serious? Really? Really? Are you serious? Oh my God, I can't, oh my God, it's such a waste of time. Such a waste of time. And I thought I was doing something productive, you know, like I'm speaking about just doing a video. Oh my God, and the time that it takes to do that, you know, to invest that, and just, especially when you're not like full-time YouTuber, I guess, where you can make money on the platform. And I have time, like I got a real job. I mean, no, I got my actual job. I guess I should say my actual job, because a real job, what is a real job? If you're making money on something, boom, that's your job. You're making money. But my actual job definitely just takes so much time. There's so much time that I have to dedicate to that. And then it kind of spews over into like my personal life. When I'm not out there in the field, that work that I do out there spews over into my personal life, and I gotta do work while I'm at home. And then I gotta also kind of allocate time to edit videos, record videos, and usually to give you a little inner, you know, a little look on the inside, a little background look, I guess. Usually what I do is kind of block out like a nice day's worth that I could dedicate to recording Let's Plays. So I don't know if you ever notice, but if I'm wearing like, well, right now I got my, Drowning Man t-shirt on. Look at Marky Moo. Usually I'll block out like a whole day and I'll go and record a bunch of videos, you know. Typically, like I'll try to aim at the like shorter videos, cause that's like bread and butter right there when you're really just on a time crunch all the time, which sucks because I have so many games that I want to do series for, and all these games will be like long form Let's Plays. But typically, like on a day, like on the weekend, I'll block out a day and then I'll do just a mass, like just several videos of little short games, and then maybe like one or two longer Let's Plays, because throughout the week it's just like, yeah, I have to focus on my actual job, and then I also need to focus on editing, because I'll edit a video like the day before and then render that bad boy out. And then since I moved to a new place, like I've spoken about before, my internet freaking sucks. And actually the video that I just uploaded recently, which would have been yesterday, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna post this on Saturday, by the Fallout 76 video, number 5, the 5th episode, like that literally took 24 hours to upload. Like I finished editing that video, it was like 11:30, maybe around midnight, maybe a little after midnight, and I finished editing that video, and then I was rendering it out, and I was hoping like, oh, I don't want to fall asleep before this gets done, because as soon as it gets done, I want to hurry up and just like start uploading it to YouTube, because I mean it's like a big file. It was like a little over 2-hour video, because like I said before, wait, no, did I say it at the end of that video? I think, yeah, in that video at the end of it, I was talking about how, oh, like I want to do 2-hour videos, because like a lot of these games, they require a lot of hours of gameplay to put into it, and I don't really want to have like, you know, tremendous amounts of videos going into one game. Like I think I use Red Dead Redemption as an example, because that's like 40 to 60 hours of gameplay. So I was thinking like an hour an episode, like holy crap, would that really turn out to be like a 40 to 60 video, like 40 to 60 episodes for that series? And so I wanted to do 2 hours. Well, I started kind of doing these Fallout episodes, doing them 2 hours for a length, and like that upload, I fell asleep. That's the first mistake that I made. Damn, body, why do you gotta get your rest in? And I woke up, it probably would have been done at like 3, 4 in the morning, because it is a large file and it needs to like render out all that just high definition quality, and it's a big file, you know what I mean? And I ended up falling asleep, so I woke up around like 7:30, 8 in the morning, and I was like, oh crap. Looked over at my computer, like sure enough, it was done. And I hurried up and just started uploading it, and then that bad boy wasn't done until this morning, which it's Friday right now. Like it just finished maybe like 3-4 hours ago. So damn near like 24 hours it took to upload a 2-hour video. So in conclusion, I'm probably not gonna be doing the 2-hour episodes, and I'm just gonna have to deal with the long series. Just more content, I guess. Instead of an episode that's 2 hours long, there's gonna be freaking 2 episodes an hour long. That's just the way that's gonna be. I guess I tested it out to see how it would be, and it's just too long to upload a video that's that length in time. It's just insane. But getting to the meat and potatoes of this video, I'm pretty sure this video is gonna be called The Lost Episode. Oh my gosh. Okay, so all that spew is done. Let me spew into this. It wasn't yesterday, right? No, because I was just uploading that video. So it wasn't Thursday, but Wednesday, I got home from work, and I think I got like right into recording a video because I wanted to, like I said, usually a day on the weekend, I'll block it out to record like a bunch of shorter games, and then maybe like a long game or two, like a couple episodes or one episode of a long form of Let's Play. And then kind of like throughout the week, I'll go and record an episode of some sort of long form, whatever. And Wednesday I was doing that. Started recording, everything's going smoothly, and you know, I'm so like, I gotta say this, I'm so happy that the episode was 2 hours long, but at the same time, what went down wasn't a whole lot. I mean, it wasn't like I was progressing through, I guess, the story, and just like a bunch of different things were happening and a lot of information was being given. It was more or less like one situation happened, and I was going to do that. And then it kind of led to something else, which led to something else, which led to something else. So it was kind of like the same thing, but just a string of other like occurrences happened. So it wasn't like I went and talked to the raiders, blah, 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 did some stuff. Went to the settlers, talked to them, did some stuff, blah, blah, blah. Went and talked to the overseer, did some stuff, blah, blah, blah. No, I went and did one thing, but then a bunch of other shit just kind of just kept popping up, and it just went into a rabbit hole, basically. And so all in all, it wasn't a lot of stuff that happened, but what basically went down is I finished the recording. I pull it back over, get back on my computer actually. What do I see? Recording abruptly stopped because of low storage. Yeah, because of low storage. I took for granted the computer that I have, thinking that I had so much space on it, because I mean, it has a terabyte hard drive. I was like, oh yeah, you know, like that's a lot of space. I'll be good. I don't really have to think about things like, you know, like, oh, running out of space. To me, that thought just like that was it. It was just like, I don't really got to think about things like that. I'll make sure that I delete the stuff when I'm done with it, and we'll be good. And for the most part, like I stayed up on it, and everything's been fine up until this point. And then, yeah, sure enough, like as soon as I clicked over and went back onto my computer to like stop recording, low storage abruptly stopped. It must have happened like kind of maybe like the first half hour or something into the game, because the file size when it stopped was only like a few gigabytes. So I mean, yeah, that's nothing compared to like long form Let's Plays. Like my heart just dropped, because like I said, like I'm on a time crunch when it comes to doing my recordings and like just getting the raw footage of everything before editing. You know what I mean? I can't just oh, it's all right, I'll just pull it back and just do it again. Like that sucks, but it's all good. And that leads me into another thing, but hold on for that. My time is seriously precious. And I guess to myself, it's not like to like people around me, obviously. To myself, my time is very precious because there's a lot of things going on and I only have certain amount of like allocated blocks of time that I can dedicate to the things that I need and want to do. And so this little session, you know, this is like a little over 2 hours of just doing this. And it's just like in that amount of time, there's other things that I could have been doing like productively to be ahead of like the game in my life. And like, as soon as I saw that message and my heart dropped and I'm just thinking like, I just wasted 2 hours of my day. Like this right here just totally effed up my series. And I'm just sitting here just like, oh my God, like, I'm sure there's things in your life that have happened that probably make you feel like that, but any YouTubers out there who do, I guess, like any sort of video or content for their channel and something like this happens, and like if it's something that you can't go and just fix and it's just something that's just, it's just fucked. That's what it is. It's just fucked. It just, I don't know. In that moment, it just feels like the end of the world. It feels like just like you just lost something great. And I'm kind of blowing that out of proportion because now, obviously, compared to how I feel now about the situation to how I felt at the time, I don't feel like that. It's like, whatever, okay. I mean, I even thought that to myself in the moment, be like, right now it sucks, but like in a few hours, tomorrow, it won't feel like this. It just sucks in the moment because you just spent all this time doing it and you're not gonna be able to do it again. All the content, all the shit that I experienced and I saw and what I commented on during my gameplay, I'm not gonna be able to do that again. I'm not gonna be able to give that to like the series, to the audience. That's it. That whole little block, that session of Fallout 76 just got ruined. It just got screwed. And that leads me to really kind of like criticize Bethesda with Fallout 76. The only reason why I'm even making this video and talking about this, because if it was any other game, you know, like this wouldn't, you know, there wouldn't be like this requisite of me having to do this. I wouldn't have to be called to do this really in my head to explain anything. But there is no like a manual save game like procedure at all. There's nothing for me to do to save the game. It's all automatic. Everything about it is automatic. And so I could have just loaded a previous, you know, in that situation, that's what you would have did. You'd been like, fuck, I did all that work. I'll just have to reload it from a previous state, do it all over again, and like kind of act as if things like I haven't experienced this and just kind of continue from there. But there's no thing like that with Fallout 76. It's all automatically saved, and any progress that you make, that's just what it is. And so like I instantly got on the internet and started looking into that because I didn't exactly know that, even though I knew like I never manually saved, but I didn't know if that was like a total just thing that wasn't possible in Fallout 76. And sure enough, when I Googled it, it said, yeah, like you can't save yourself, but fear not, it will save your progress for you. So, you know, don't be worried about any loss, blah, blah, blah. But the fact is that I needed to get it back into a previous state that I was in, and I couldn't do that. And I'm doing a series 4 Fallout 76, the Wastelanders update, and I can't go back to a previous state. All that content right there, just screwed, gone, kapoof. It sucks so bad. But like I said just a handful of minutes ago, I'm happy that I didn't dive into a bunch of other shit that really progressed the story tremendously. Like literally, all I did was go talk to Meg, because if you're watching this, and I'd imagine if you're watching this that you have watched the other Fallout, the videos that I've done for the series, and up until, I guess this would have been episode 6, but technically not anymore. You know, the next episode is gonna be episode 6, but this should have been episode 6. But at the end of episode 5, we just got access to the restricted wing, and we were I had to go talk to, what was it? I had to go talk to Meg and or Paige about Vault 79 and like who I wanted to do the job with basically, and who I wanted to split the spoils of war who did I want to split the booty with, right? Did I want to share booty with anybody? Sharing is caring. I was saying, I don't know if I said anything in episode 5, but I know in the next one, the lost episode, for the sake of the Let's Play and kind of like to do like crazy shit, I guess, I wanted to go with Meg and the Raiders because I felt morally everybody would go with Paige, and myself included. If I was playing on my own time, I probably would go with the Settlers and Paige because I feel like I could trust them better, that they wouldn't screw me over once we got access to Vault 79 and then you try to take me out and kill me and then take everything for yourself. I would expect the Settlers to be the good guys and then the Raiders, Meg and them, to be the ones to screw me over. But for the sake of the Let's Play, I was gonna go with Meg. So that was basically like the episode, is I went to the crater, spoke with Meg. She told me to speak with somebody else, and then I went to go speak with them, and then just like a bunch of other shit kind of happened. And I'm gonna briefly go through that to just explain what was that episode even about. But that's really all it was, like in a nutshell, is I went to go talk to Meg. She wanted me to go talk to somebody else, and then just a bunch of other little shit happened. And then in the end, I came back to Meg, and that was it. But oh, this sucks so bad. Freaking 2 hours of progress. Some pretty interesting people that I met, situations that occurred, and then just, oh my God, the battles that I had to just endure trying to help out Meg's friend. Oh my God, there were some gross moments, man. To be up front, the scorpion's eyes, when you're freaking that. When you're like that with a scorpion, man, that is freaking disgusting. I hate their little weird spider eyes. Are they even considered arachnids, or are they something else? I don't know, but whatever. Okay, so I am gonna now get into I guess what even happened, and I'm gonna have to think about this stuff because, like I said, this was 2 hours worth of gameplay. There's a lot of little details, and I don't want to get into every little single detail, but I want to kind of capture majority of everything that I went through. For a second there, I was even thinking of kind of like briefly explaining this and then posting like a separate video of like just the audio of myself experiencing what I was experiencing, because I still had that footage and that audio. I had the footage. I wasn't gonna do the footage of the face cam and stuff, but I mean, my microphone, I still had all that. And I was thinking like, well, I could just upload that and like it'd be kind of like a podcast in a sense, you know, not a YouTube podcast where they have the video, but just like iHeartRadio type podcast or iTunes, you know, just the audio stuff. But then it got to things where, you know, you didn't have the context of what was happening because you didn't have the visual context, I guess. You didn't have that. So if I was sitting there reading something or listening to somebody talk, you didn't have that, you know what I mean? It would be me kind of responding whatever thought was popping into my head. So I kind of took that off the table. I was like, you know what? Nah, I guess I'll just kind of briefly explain what happened, then kind of briefly explain what happened during the episode, and then call it good, record my next Fallout episode, and then just continue on the series until we finish it up. Okay, so I went to the crater, I talked to Meg, and I was trying to get her for caps. Every time when I like have information or anything, I'm trying to just hustle her for caps. Not with Paige, I'll be more than happy to be just, you know, charity. I'll give you things, like whatever, like you guys are good people, I will help you out. But with Meg and all them, everybody there are a bunch of freaking dickheads, and I hope you guys hear this. Yeah, you NPCs, I hope you hear this. I hope you find out that I'm talking crap, because I am. All of you guys are dickheads, and I'm sure I'm gonna talk about that more because I have still a job to get into the vault with you guys, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be freaking dickheads every time I come to the crater. It's just nonstop shit talking. Okay, so yeah, I went and I spoke to Meg and trying to hustle her for caps, and then I told her about Vault 79, and I had the blueprints for the vault. I popped them up on this bulletin. She was taking a look at it, and she's like, you know what, like 76, because she loves to call me 76 for some reason. Like, yeah, like I'll do this, you know, like I'm gonna take my significant cut, and then you could take your little fair share, you know, a little small cut of like whatever we take. And then I was like, well, what percentages are you talking about? And she's oh, like 50-50. Like, I remember talking about that for a second. It's like, wait a minute, you made it seem like as if you were gonna give me like it was gonna be like 80-20 or something like that. But then in the end, you're just like, oh, 50-50. Like, I'm cool with that. The reason why I'm coming to you guys to help me with this is because I need the manpower to help me, because there's obviously gonna be like a security defenses up for Vault 79, because at the end of episode 5, if you watched it, you would have known that it was what? The Federal Reserve, all of the United States gold basically was secretly transitioned into Vault 79 from Fort Knox. So, yeah, they had like a bunch of security defenses, and there's gonna be just a lot of shit to deal with, and just getting into the vault itself. That was the main thing that after I talked to Meg, what I had to do for her was just like, I need to figure out how we're gonna get into the vault. But I need the manpower, because there's gonna be just a shitload of security defenses, and like me by myself, not gonna happen. That's why I needed to either go with the settlers or go with the raiders. So she was interested. She definitely was. She was like, yeah, like we'll do the damn thing. I just need you to go talk to my main man's, my demo expert. What is his name? Lucky Lou. Go have a chit chat with my demolitions expert, Lucky Lou. He's a ghoul. So I guarantee, like, if you went back and to the episode when I first came to the crater, you would have seen me speaking to Lou. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really remember. So I go down there and I'm looking around, blah, blah, blah. I find Lou's spot, and there's a note. And it was a goodbye note, basically. And one of the main things that is said in there was just like, I will not be an eyesore for you guys anymore. Like, I'm gone. Don't send anybody after me. Goodbye. And I totally can understand that, because in the game, like just throughout Fallout, like when you come across, not really just like how do you want to, like the disposable NPCs that really don't have any sort of like grasp on the story, or not grasp, but like they're just not really a main character of the story. They're just like, you know, like settler, raider. But a lot of the ghouls that are a part of the main story, some of them have like those bad experiences, I guess. Well, not I guess, they have the bad experiences of people around them just really kind of treating them differently. And I mean, America knows all about that, right? Treating people differently just because you look different, fucking assholes. And yeah, people look at them and they see like this terrifying, you know, ghoul, just radiated ghoul, and they're just like talking shit and all that good stuff. So I'd imagine, I don't think it really told me, but in so many words, he was tired of being treated differently, and he just was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave. And he thought that once I actually got to him and I did a bunch of shit, he thought that he would turn feral for some reason. That was another thing, is that he didn't want to hurt anybody. Like, he was tired of being an eyesore for people and people talking crap. But at the same time, he thought that eventually he was going to turn into a feral ghoul and attack and hurt and possibly kill the people that he cared about and he lived with. And just right off the bat, when I heard that, I was just like, nah, dude, like, you would have been feral now. Your body reacted differently and the outside changed, but in the inside, you're still you. So I don't know why he thought that, but yeah. And I think I said that to him too. Be like, no, feral ghouls, they turned feral when the shit happened. I don't think I went and told Meg. I think for some reason, I had to talk to this guy named Caleb Fisher. And he was upstairs, kind of like around the area where Meg was. So I went and talked to him, and I basically had to threaten him. And I feel bad because I feel like he has like some sort of a mental impairment. I don't know if it's his accent or if it's him. I think he's a really smart guy because he can create like technology and help people out. But he has some sort of slowness to him. And I went up to him, and I feel bad for even doing it, but I had to threaten him. And then in so many words, he told me like, okay, I was worried about Lou told me that he was leaving. Don't bother chasing after me. Like, it's for the better that I'm gone. And he asked, what was her name? Weasel. Frickin' Weasel. He sent his friend Weasel, because she's like an awesome tracker apparently, after Lou. and to try to convince him to bring it back or to keep tabs on him, just be like, where is he? And so I needed to basically find Weasel. Weasel had some sort of tracking device on her as well. And so Caleb, Mr. Fisher, hooked me up with this device to where I could kind of like, where it tells you the signal strength's getting stronger and the beeping and stuff. Like, it's like a similar device that you used in Fallout 4 when you're trying to find a specific, I forget what you call them. A courser, I think they're called. I think a courser. But yeah, like I had to track down a courser and there was like a little thing that I had to use and the signal would go boop, 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 boop once I got closer. Similar situation. I ended up climbing like a mountain and then I found like the entrance to this mine. And sure enough, as soon as I went inside it, boom, there's Weasel right there. But one thing that stands out about Weasel is she doesn't have a voice box, or her voice is taken away, or she just can't talk anymore. And Caleb made her like this little device to put around her throat to be like one of those like little speech things, like bzz, blah, blah, blah. But she doesn't need to do the little thing like hold up a thing up to her voice box. It's just like a collar, and it has like certain words programmed into it, and there's no bad words apparently. Like she cannot swear, so anything, if she tried to say shit, it would come out poop. So that was just hilarious, just hearing her say just different things, like trying to freaking talk about like, I don't know, just any sort of profanity and just the words that would come out. So yeah, just a quick little backstory of why she even had that on and why her name is Weasel is because a previous group that she was a part of, she ratted them out to somebody or ratted somebody out to the leader. I don't know, but basically for being a rat, that was her punishment. They took a hot iron like poker and freaking like seared her voice box. Like, holy crap, dude. So she didn't die from infection. You're in freaking the apocalypse and stuff, and you didn't die from infection. You got your freaking throat burned out. I don't know how that would happen and not affect the esophagus and just whatever. It's a video game, Jourdan. So she has that little collar to help her speak. It was made by Fisher, and yeah, that's a backstory for why her name is Weasel and just who that person is. So yeah, look that person up or play the game yourself, bud. I'd suggest playing the game. And I told her like, hey, I'm here looking for Lou. You're here tracking him, right? Yes, I am, blah, blah, blah. Let's do this thing together. So we go deeper into the mine and we come across like this intercom thing. And Lou speaks up and he's like, just get out of here, blah, blah, blah. If you don't leave, I'm gonna blow you all to hell. Just leave. Like, I'm giving you a chance to survive. If you try to come down here any further to save me or try to talk me out of me leaving and all that good stuff, then I'm gonna kill you, blah, blah, blah. And we just brush that to the side. And we blast through this wall. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah, Weasel, she must be sort of like a little demo apprentice of Lou too. I don't know. But she just randomly just starts, fucking with the wall. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Are you like, putting a bomb? Oh, you're putting a bomb there. All of a sudden a bomb just like popped up right on the wall. And then I hurry up and ran away. She blows the wall out. We fight like a little bit more of some crickets, I think. And we get in there. And the first thing we come across is like this chair with the freaking shotgun pointing at it. And it's like set up to be like this, to be triggered by something. I don't know. I kind of forgot the details. But really what it was Lou was plotting his suicide. And he's a smart cookie. He's like an engineer. I don't know if he's really an engineer, but like he's an engineer in my eyes because he just engineered like all these different, kind of like that guy from Saw who just like creates all these different weird like death traps. Except these were meant to kill you, but they ended up like going wrong and like faulting out or whatever. So yeah, the first one was a shotgun. And he said that like there was a bunch of shotguns like on the ground and in a trash can. And he was like, yeah, for some reason, as soon as I sat down, all these shotguns either like broke or they were rusted out, or there was just all these different reasons like why it just wasn't working. And so he carried on to the next stage of trying to figure something out. So then we carry on, and I believe the next step the next like little scenario that we went into was he set up like all these machine gun turrets, like up on these pillars, if you want to call it that. And then we're pointing them down like at this little center spot where there was like a button to, I think, to activate, to send power to all of these different machine gun turrets. And if you went up there and pushed the button, it would automatically trigger whoever was the one in the center pushing that button. And I kind of forgot what it was that even happened. I think it was tremors, because for some reason there was a lot of tremors that were like occurring as soon as we entered the mine. I think the reasoning was like he would, same thing, like would like set up the turrets, and then a tremor would happen, and then it would like activate them before he could actually do the damn thing, and then they would like destroy each other or something like that. And then he would set it up again, same shit would happen, and then he kept doing that a few different times. So then I think he gave up on that and just like proceeded to his next plot. But when I got there, it's like there was like turrets set up, the power was off, but then there was this huge, I forget what it was called. I think it was called like a fog crawler, but it was this another enlarged bug. I don't even know what kind of bug it really would have been. I don't know. It kind of looked like a millipede. No, not like that. It was like it had its back legs, like a dozen back legs, just like sitting on the ground, and then its body was up, and then its head was like, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like this, like, I don't know, I don't even really know what kind of bug I could really compare it to. But it was this huge freaking bug there, and it would freaking charge us, like, oh my god. It kind of reminded me of the big arachnids from the movie Starship Troopers, the first one. Oh my god, that was just like, that took a bit for us to take that bad boy out, because it wasn't easy trying to take it out. I actually died a few different times, and I realized something. When you're playing online with people and you are like sitting, you pretty much got killed, but you're sitting there hoping like, hey, come and revive me, come help me. And I was doing that to freaking to Weasel. At the same time, she was down, and so I'm just like, Weasel, help me, Weasel. And finally she, like, you know, recovers, because, you know, they can do that. After a while they'll recover a little bit of life. She's like limping towards me, and the time's just ticking, it's counting down. She wasn't even close enough to me, and I just like, I had to give up, I had to die, because she just wasn't, you know, like, as soon as I died, she seemed to go right back to normal and be right next to me, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. As soon as I die, like, you're just fine. Okay. But then I came back into the game, came down there, I ended up dying again, and then this time she was fine, and I'm sitting there like, help me, Weasel, help me. And she like walks up to me, and then she just stops, she just chills. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I can't expect that from like NPCs or like people who are kind of my what do you call them? My companions. Like, I can't get nothing. You guys can't help me. It's more or less just online players can come and help you out. So, hey. So then I come back, we finally take that bad boy out, and we proceed to the next step. And then this time I think I was in this room. It sucks that I just like, I don't have this stuff in front of me. I could be skipping certain parts, but whatever. This is supposed to be sort of in a nutshell, you know, just like kind of like a brief description of everything that happened. So whatever. And then the next room that we went into basically was like, or like this next part of this mine, there was this big room built, and Lou made it that once you entered it, there's like another door, and then that door was locked, and it triggered basically like this spike trap to just start just coming down on you. Not fast, like it just slowly would just start to compress. But then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was like a tremor or what happened. I think it was a tremor happened, and it made the floor give way, and I fell down into this pool of water that was like, this had to be like a cave underneath the mine, I'd assume. Yeah. So I ended up down like in this other part of this mine, like this cave, and I come to, hop out, get on like the land right there in the cave, and just in the distance I could see scorpions. And like I was saying at the beginning of this, like, oh my God, being face to face with a scorpion is just one of the grossest things I think you can experience in Fallout. Now, there's a bunch of other gross things that happened, like when I got swarmed by ticks. And ticks just in general, just like in real life, are just disgusting. These nasty little, like, ugh. But you know, these are just freaking just radiated ticks that just grew to freaking, I mean, if you saw, you know what I'm talking about. But so this cave area that we came down into was just a bunch of scorpions down there. So we started making our way through it. We come up to our first scorpion, you know, it's a fight. Come across another few scorpions, it's a fight. I think I was pretty much good through that. I don't think I died or anything. I think it was just a battle real quick of having to deal with these things and having to deal with their little tactics of like how the mole rats do, where they just go underground and then they pop up and surprise you, and then just dealing with all that. So then finally we get through the scorpions, and then we come into, was this the last area? I think we finally came to where Lou was at, and he was still just like hell-bent on freaking his whole reasoning of why he left, what his master plan was, basically just what he wanted to do. Like, he was just so dead set on freaking taking his life and not being a burden to other people, you know, even though it's like, you left, man, so why do you have to kill yourself now? Why do you want to just take your life? Like, you left. If you really wanted to get away from everybody, I think what it was is that he just didn't want to be feral. Like, he was just so convinced that he would turn feral, and he just didn't want to be on Earth like that anymore, I guess. So he was still just fixated on trying to take his life. But then I started talking to him about the whole reason why I'm even looking for him. You know, it's like, hey, I have schematics and I guess good information, very reliable, trusted information, that there's this stockpile of gold in this vault, and I'm trying, like, I've convinced Meg to be on board to help me out, and she wants you to help out because we need to get through a vault door. Or do you think you could do this? And he was just like, you know, like, I'm trying to take my life here. But you know, I could totally do it. He seemed very assured that he would be able to get through a freaking vault door. He was so confident, like, yeah, if I wasn't over trying to take my life, I'd get through that vault door in a heartbeat. And so I kind of had to, you know, coax him a little bit. And in the end, he basically was just like, okay, like, yeah, I'll do it. He's like, but afterwards, you know, you need to help me figure out a way to take my life. And it's just like, you know what? After all this shit that I went through, just to go talk to Meg's demo expert. Like I said at the beginning of this, it wasn't like a tremendous amount of progress in the main story of the Wastelanders update. You know, really all it was is like, hey, go talk to my dude Lou, and then get him on board, like, with this, and then we'll progress with that. That's really all it was about. But there was just a lot of other shit that occurred just to get to Lou and convince him. And so yeah, in the end, he was on board, but he just wanted me to still help out with him trying to take his life. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, you're down with the get down. Let me go back to Meg and talk to her. So I dipped out of there, went back to Meg, told her about the whole reason why he left, that he thought that he was gonna turn feral and hurt the people that he lived with and cared about. And at first it was asking me, like, do I want to kind of just like keep this from Meg and not say anything? But it felt more like the right thing to do, to let her know that one of her people is freaking contemplating taking their life, and this is the reason why. And she was caught off guard by it. She's like, whoa, like, I had no idea that Lucky Lou was even just like under that state of mind. Like, I thought everything was fine, like, you know. So she agreed that she would talk to him, kind of get him out of that little rut that he's in, and just like let him know, like, you're like family here, you're loved here. like, yeah, I mean, you can expect raiders to be little shitheads. Like I said, every time I come to their freaking camp, everybody's just talking mad crap, and it's like, dude, I'm in cahoots with your boss, and you're just fucking talking mad shit to me. So yeah, she agreed that she would talk to him and just try to figure things out with him and get him totally off that just mission that he's on. And I think by that time, once I finally got done with all that, I was coming around to just maybe a few minutes shy of the 2-hour mark. And so I just like pulled off to the side and talked to, who was it, Ren? I talked to Ren a little bit, and just, it was more kind of a diving into just how all the raiders there are just a bunch of dickheads. But Ren isn't just like your average, you're just, what I say earlier, disposable NPC. I mean, this is a person who's a part of the story. I mean, they have a name, for instance. It doesn't just say Raider Scum or anything. I mean, this was Ren. So I spoke to her a little bit, and she was like this cocky, like, little ass of, oh my God. She's a teenager too. She's 18 years old, which caught me off guard. I thought that she'd be older and stuff, and just like her attitude, and then even just like her skill compared to the other raiders there is like her experience, and just like she's kind of like a boss to the other raiders there. And we just kind of had a little dialogue a little bit, and I kind of was just like fucking with her and just talking crap to her, and then she was just not having it, and she's like, I'm gonna freaking kill you if you don't get away from me. So I finally got away, and I still had my power armor on. Yeah, somebody, why are you trying to FaceTime me, bud? It is a space station, so this is kind of like a little detail, but I still want to say it because it was a cool thing at the end of the episode. And that's one thing, like, oh, I wish I could have had that. Like, this one little detail that had really nothing, it had nothing to do with the story, but it was something cool at the end of the video. And I just really wanted to show that. But it's a space station, so there's space suits and like gear and all that stuff. I found a suit and I found a helmet. And I freaking hopped out of my power armor, put that stuff on, and I was just like, oh, this is so cool. Like, look at me, man. I got the whole get up on. And I was curious, like, if I hopped in my power armor, would it stay on me? I guess more or less the helmet. And it did. So I guess that's something that you'll see when it comes to my next episode. And I'll definitely be sure to freaking make sure that there's a space for that. And oh, that was so cool. I hopped into power armor, the helmet was there, it stayed on, and I just had this get up. Like, it looked freaking awesome. I can't wait till where people can actually see that. So then I hopped out and I kind of like ventured outside of their camp, because whenever I'm trying to have like a little, heart to heart, or talk about like the things that I've experienced in the latest Let's Play, it's just like there, everybody's always just having a conversation. So it just makes it hard for me to talk when I have like this conversation going on or in my left ear, then I got this conversation going on in my right ear. And so I went outside their camp, and then I was just kind of talking about things, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I seen somebody run up into the area where Ren was at. And so I kind of came over there and eavesdropped on their conversation, and this guy was just like Ren, the next time you go out, like, let me come along, let me tag along, like, come on now. And then Ren was just like, yeah, right, you better learn how to aim and shoot first, blah, 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 and just all this. And really what it came down to was like, I just loved the conversations that happened between NPCs, because it seemed like in Fallout 4, and then obviously even older ones like New Vegas, and maybe in Fallout 3, even though it's kind of hazy for Fallout 3 because that was so long ago, their conversations really were just like very surfacey, and it would be like, oh yeah, you're gonna eat that blah 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 today, and be like, oh yeah, it's not bad. And it was just really surfacey. But the conversation like with this NPC and then with Ren, it was just so just detailed, and so just like he would say something and then she would fire back on him, and then he would say something, and just the way they kept going back and forth, like it was just, like as if I was having a conversation with somebody. It was just that cool. And I really admired the conversations between NPCs like in that moment, and I spoke about it for a second, whatever. But I mean, all in all, that was what the episode was about. I came to talk to Meg. She told me to talk to Lou. Lou dipped out. Fisher knew where he was, or Fisher sent somebody to track him down. I had to track down the tracker. Me and Weasel, the tracker, had to go through like the little areas that Lou went through until we finally met up with Lou. Then I had to convince Lou to be on board. Did it, came back, told Meg about everything that happened, and to pretty much, you need to check in on the mental state of Lou to get him out of his funk. She was on board with that. Boom. You're all caught up. That was basically what happened. Like I said, not very progressive through the main line of the story, but still was enough content to fill out like a 2-hour episode. So, like I said, I'm thankful that it wasn't like a bunch of if it was us finding Vault 79 and then us getting in there and then dealing with whatever the frick is in there, and then obviously there has to be something after we deal with them. They're like security defenses and getting in there. Like there's gonna be some sort of confrontation, I'd imagine, with Meg and the Raiders. There has to be. I'm gonna be surprised if there's not. But if it was all that happened and I lost that, oh my gosh, dude. Like this would be a whole nother freaking vlog, I guess. Cause that would have been a kick in the nuts. Slap in the face, a punch in the gut. Because that's like the whole main purpose of why the NPCs, like why civilization really came back into this to this wasteland, into Appalachia. You know what I mean? Because there was no NPCs before they came out with the Wastelanders update. And then the whole reasoning of why the NPCs, like why any sort of civility, society came back was because people heard of something, people heard that there was like some sort of treasure to find. God damn, I'll talk to you in a second. Some sort of treasure to find in the vault. And some people, now that I think about it, when I first, I think my first episode of the Wastelanders update, the people were confused and they thought it was 76 and they were like chilling at 76. And I went and talked to them and was just like, there's no treasure in Vault 76 because I came out of Vault 76. So, oh yeah, that was another thing that I talked about too. Maybe I talked about it in episode 5, I'm not sure, but there had to been some, that information being leaked out, there had to been something from a Vault Tech staff, or obviously, somebody who knew about that leaked that information, and I was just curious of how did that information even get out there? Because you had to be a part of Vault Tech or somebody who's a part of that circle. Obviously, even getting into the president and then his cabinet or whoever, the people that were within his circle, or you know what I mean? Somebody who was close enough had to leak that information, who is still surviving. They had to leak that information out for people to catch that and to come back, more in the lore of frickin' Fallout 76, I guess. But that was something that I was talking about as well. And I think I talked about that in episode 5, but all in all, you're all caught up. That's really what happened in the lost episode of Fallout 76. Episode 6? Maybe. Not really. There's gonna be another episode 6. Technically should have been episode 7. But yeah, that's really all that happened. So if you're checking out this video and you made it all the way to the end of this, man, and you haven't checked out any of the episodes that led up to this, if you made it to the end of this and you didn't check out any of the episodes, there's something wrong with you. Because to even watch all of this and not even know anything about what I'm talking about, that's kind of strange. You better just go back and check all that out. But for the people who have checked out those episodes and now you're checking into this, now you know. Now you know what happened. Now I know from the mistakes that I have made is that I need to make sure that space is available. Space is available. And it wasn't even really because of just me just recording these large files and downloading these games. For some reason, I didn't know this, but Elgato, when you record a gameplay, it also it has the gameplay file itself. It's MP4, and that's a large file. But then it also creates these other files in this folder on my desktop. And I just randomly went in there to check it out because it said that I had so much space taken up. And I'm like, what? I'm looking at all this stuff and I deleted so much stuff, but yet there's still so much space taken up and I don't know where it's at. So I went inside this Elgato file that's on my desktop. And then sure enough, like I'm seeing all these, you know, like titles of basically like all the Resident Evils, all of the World War Z's, all of the Fallout 76 gameplays that I've done over the past like handful of months, whatever. And then I started looking into those individual folders. And sure enough, inside there's these huge files. Like, I don't know, are they backups? I didn't really look into it. I just noticed the size of these files. And I'm like, there you go. There's your culprit right there. Every time I freaking record a gameplay and I got that file, and then I transfer that file like onto my MacBook because I record it on my gaming computer, but then I transfer all of my footage and my audio onto my MacBook and then that's where I do like my editing. I do it on that because then I could like go downstairs and chill on the couch, put like Jack or Mark on, and just, you know, have that playing in the background, and then I could sit there and just edit a video. Holy crap, you know what I mean? So then I just deleted all that crap, and sure enough, I keep saying sure enough a lot, but I don't give a shit. I also say like a lot too. But you know what? I don't give a shit. And sure enough, all that space was given back to me. You know what I mean? Now I got just so much gigabytes available. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I go in there and delete those backups or whatever the hell that is. I don't even really know what that is. I'm gonna explore that with my next gameplay that I record with Elgato, and to see like what that even is. 'Cause what's the purpose of that when I record the gameplay and then I have that file? What is that other shit? There's no reason for it besides it being like some sort of backup. I don't know. So yeah, that's it. That is the lost episode, and now you're all caught up to the next episode. When I come into that, I'll be at the crater, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be at the crater, and I'm not sure if it's now on the lookout for the Vault 79. If that's the next step, is going to search for Vault 79 with everybody. Or is there some other shit that Meg needs me to do? Because that's the way it goes, right? I need you to do something, but yet you need me to do something, and what you need me to do also needs me to do a bunch of other shit, you know? Welcome to Fallout universe. So yeah, like I said, you're all caught up. I'm gonna end the episode right here because this, just me talking about all this shit, is about an hour long now. I'm gonna end the video right here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm happy if you got to the end of all of this, you know, that you're still here. I appreciate that. So like I said, I'm gonna end the video right here. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for watching this video. And I'll see you. Peace.